If you could see the world through my eyes, vibrant purple sunrise, shards of broken dreams come raining down.
Mark here, Life and Fitness Files. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date with content. Today, we're going to be talking about losing weight but maintaining muscle mass and possibly increasing muscle mass while losing that weight. There's a few key aspects to know and think about and put into action. Let's dig in. The first key aspect is you need to know what is your caloric expenditure every single day based on your current weight. Probably need to know your body fat level. That would be very helpful, but also your level of activity. You need to know how many calories am I using up and how many calories do I need to consume to be in a caloric deficit. You need to consume less calories than your body is burning. That's just basic math, but you have to know that number in order to find that. It's not always simple, but there's different calculators that you can use. You want to be able to calculate your basal metabolic rate. That's just the rate of burning energy while at rest, and then calculate your level of activity above and beyond that. So digging into losing fat and weight while maintaining or building muscle, there are studies showing that it is possible to do both of those things simultaneously. Now, if you are ideally trying to put on muscle mass, being in a caloric deficit does not make that easy or ideal. So being in a slight caloric surplus is actually the most beneficial for putting on muscle mass. But in this specific purpose, you're looking at how can I lose body fat and maintain or increase muscle mass? Again, you have to be in a caloric deficit. Now, on top of that, how do I maintain that muscle? You have to do a couple of things very, very strategically. You have to make sure that you are getting enough protein. I have another video on protein sources as well as how much protein you should be consuming. You want to make sure that you're having 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. If you really want to make sure you're maintaining and or increasing muscle mass, you probably even want more than that, maybe 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. You're going to need to know what you are eating, how many calories am I in a caloric deficit, and how much specific protein am I consuming. You're going to have to make specific choices that are high in protein and maybe not as calorically dense. You have to know those numbers in order to make this work. That's true for any time that you're trying to put on muscle mass. You have to have enough protein, but especially if you're in a caloric deficit, you have to make sure you have enough protein or you will likely lose muscle mass. Now, in addition to maintaining that muscle with protein ingestion, you have to make sure that you are doing resistance training. Pair that with protein ingestion, you are going to be able to maintain muscle mass. So, resistance training. If there are specific muscles that you are trying to make sure you're maintaining, you need to do resistance training with those muscles. It doesn't help, obviously, if you're doing resistance training with your legs, your upper body starts to lose muscle mass. It's because you're not training those muscles. You need to be doing resistance training with your full body. If there are specific muscles you want to focus on, you can do that. You can say, I really want to maintain throughout my body, so I'm going to do resistance training, but I also want to try to increase my upper body during this time period of caloric deficit. Okay, if you do enough volume, you're likely to be able to maintain that even more and slight increase. This paired with protein ingestion is going to give you the best chance to do that. Studies show that it is possible, but it takes a lot of focus and a lot of effort. As you increase your muscle mass, you're also going to increase that buffer of how many calories your body burns. Muscles help burn calories much faster and creates a furnace in your body, so it gives you a little more buffer to be able to lose fat and be in a caloric deficit by building more muscle mass. So as you lose that fat, you don't want to lose that muscle because it actually is going to help you in the long run to burn more fat as you live your life through your metabolism. Maintaining protein ingestion, 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight or more, depending on your goals. You want to be in a caloric deficit. I'd say probably 200 to 400 calories, depending on your weight, your starting point, etc. More if you can handle it, but the more active you are, the more you're burning, and you need that fuel, or you're not going to really feel like being active. So you have to find that balance so that you can maintain your activity. And 3, you want to maintain or increase resistance training. If you are not doing resistance training, it's going to be really hard to maintain or increase muscle mass. When you ingest protein, you spark the flame of muscle protein synthesis just by eating protein. So that's a good thing. Pair that with resistance training, your body is going to adapt, use that protein that you've been ingesting, and it's going to increase muscle mass, which then buffers the amount of calories that you can have in a day and help you to lose fat and be in more of a caloric deficit. So when you pair all of this together, it's going to help you to lose fat, maintain or increase muscle mass, but you have to know your numbers. You got to know where your starting point is. How many calories do I want to be in a deficit each day? How much protein am I ingesting? What food am I ingesting? How many calories? And am I getting in the resistance training and hitting all of the muscles throughout my body in any focus areas? So a few tips. It is possible to do both at the same time. It's not easy, but you can do it if you focus on it. Hopefully this video helps you on your fitness journey. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date with content. Here's to life and fitness. Peace out.
Walking miles and someone else